put together the ingredients for my variation of a niçoise salad. I'm vegetarian. The rest of the people in my family aren't. You know, my 4 sons and my wife aren't, but this is a sort of vegetarian option, really. The first thing we have are our potatoes. Now, these are the potatoes we've dug. We've lightly steamed them, and as you can see, they've gone from purple to this amazing blue colour. I mean, children love this. We also grow a potato called violette, which stays violet. We grow Duke of Burgundy, which gives you a burgundy mash. And it's just colour, isn't it? It's just, you know, it adds colour. We've got some courgettes, which have been very thinly sliced. The easiest way I find to do that is to use one of these, which is a cheese slice, and literally just go lengthways along the courgette. And then they've been very gently, in some olive oil, griddled, char grilled, in a griddle pan. This is some of the last of our asparagus out the asparagus bed, and they're the sort of cooked ingredients. Then we have the uncooked ones. We've got Kalamata olives, which are stoned and halved. We've got some small tomatoes, which are just halved. Another sort of 3 or 4 weeks, hopefully we'll have our own tomatoes. And then we've got a selection of leaves which we've picked out of our no-dig bed. And last but not least, some decent goat's cheese. Nice big chunk that'll just be cut into 3. So we've got our ingredients, and what I'll show you now is very quickly how to actually assemble this salad. So we're just going to assemble this dish, and remember, food is as visual as it is to do with taste, which is why we grow things that have different colours. So the first thing we do is take some of our salad leaves, gently rip them, and start to sort of line the bowl. And basically what we're doing here is creating a framework, a frame to show off our food. So we very quickly line this bowl with salad. And that's really your first step. And then to this we take our potatoes. They've been lightly steamed. With all potatoes really at this time of the year, you're better to steam them, it gives much more flavour. And probably half a dozen of these just placed on top of our leaves. And as you can see, you're already starting to get this wonderful variation of colour starting in this bowl. And we take then some courgettes, and these are very fine strips of courgettes, as we say, and they're griddled, and just twist them and start to lay them. My goddaughter is quite keen on cooking. She sometimes comes round. She sort of quite enjoys doing this sort of thing with us. I think if children get involved in cooking very early on, it really does make it so much easier for you to get them to try new and different foods. So as you can see, you're starting to get this all coming together. Our next ingredient is our tomatoes. Again, we've got a couple of different colours. If you're following our tomato growing videos, you'll know that we are growing about 4 or 5 different colours in our polytunnel. So our tomatoes go on, and our asparagus. And it's not just about the colour, it's the shapes that are going on, you know, it's really sort of, it's quite arty really, isn't it? And then some of these olives, scattered very lightly across here. And then we come to the cheese. So we take about 1/3 of this, and although this is a salad, the potatoes are still warm, and the actual cheese is going to be warm as well. So this cheese, once it's cut into 3, will be put onto a piece of greaseproof paper and put under a really, really hot grill. Once it starts to melt, we pop it straight into the middle, and then we're going to dress it. And this is a classic sort of balsamic and olive oil dressing, only it's a lemon olive oil. We make our own lemon olive oil. It's pointless buying it. You're paying an awful lot for really something that doesn't taste as good as it could. The best thing to do, buy half a litre or a litre of olive oil. It doesn't have to be extra virgin because you're going to add a lot of flavour to it. Get some unwaxed lemons, get a potato peeler, peel 1 or 2 of the unwaxed lemons and push as many as you can into the bottle of olive oil. Take the little plastic topper out, push it in, and then every day for 3 weeks just invert it. And you'll find you'll get really, really lemony olive oil. So this is a lemon and olive oil balsamic dressing, which you literally shake in one of these little things to mix, and that'll go on last. But what I'm going to do now is take this cheese and pop it under the grill. So the cheese has been under the grill for about 3 minutes, a preheated grill. It's quite warm. Slide a palette knife under it and gently pop it right into the centre. And then take some of your dressing and be quite generous really. For the eagle-eyed amongst you, you'll notice that one of these doesn't have any olives on. That's for my son Ben, he's not very keen on olives. And that's it. All you really need to do now is get yourself a nice cold glass of some white wine. As cheap as chips really, I much prefer cheap Pinot Grigio to most things, and tuck in. So at this time of the year, you know, these are things that you can get out of your garden really, really easily. I hope that has inspired you to get growing. And until next time, that's Mike from learnhowtogarden.com saying bon appetit.